Morning, sunshine.
You know, I'm not normally up this early for work. Or the government.
Well, welcome to the real world. This beautiful sunny day. We are gonna go grab this 48 Fleetmaster convertible in the rain. So this 48 Fleetmaster, we were coming home from the car show, right? We took RT Baker to a car show. We thought, oh, we'll drive through the country. There's a Stylemaster sitting in the weeds. So we thought, well, I need a couple pieces of trim, so we'll stop in, take a look. The owner wasn't there, he doesn't live there, but the neighbor said, oh, you gotta check this car he's got in the barn, you might be able to check it out. So we got a hold of the old guy, and he showed us this convertible. And the story is that he's owned it for 43 years, and hasn't actually ever done anything with it, which is a shame. Like, it's a beautiful car, and
That's longer than we've been on the planet.
I know. He wants to build the car now. I think he's seen our Fleetmaster, and he wants to get his going, but at the same time, at this point, is it really worth throwing 50 grand into a car to, I don't know, it's like a, yeah.
Yeah, it is. I don't have a wife or kids, so I see this as being totally justifiable.
Yeah, anyway, we'll see what happens today. It doesn't say what it is, it's just a chrome badge.
Found a skull.
I bet you every single linkage is seized.
Oh, here's another animal or something. Just the fur. Just the fur is there. Sounds like a candidate for a Cummins swap.
It's a toss-up because it's a beautiful car, but it needs so much work. You could put acetone and ATF in there and see if you could unseize it. But then find an oil gallery and just pump oil pressure through it. Just get oil everywhere and let it sit for a while. See if you could break it out. But there's no way you could ever think that that engine's going to be reliable.
I wouldn't do that too much.
Yeah. Stay to the edges. Careful with that ring. That one's.
Oh crap, it's heavy.
Yeah. This whole thing is just one bad storm from falling down. I was saying to Rich too, I want one of those really old license plates up there, so I'm hoping he can get one down for me.
Oh, it's so gross.
Oh, there's another set of seats up here too, blue.
Yeah, you don't ever really see them with the cloth still on it. I got it.
Yeah. That's cool.
Oh, these pieces. This is the trim.
It's actually in better shape than the other one. It's got the right age to it, that's for sure. Old rusty stuff.
You don't?
Oh, it's raining down here.
Just like that beam is
Yeah, I see it.
like aiming right for me.
Yeah, I'm good though.
Yeah, you're good. How come all the neat stuff is on the second floor? It's really dangerous. Oh, pull it on the trailer, pull it outside, take a look.
All wheels turn.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's usually, the drums usually don't stick as bad as the disc brakes. The disc brakes just seem to clamp on in one spot. So what do you think?
car's going to need a lot of work.
Well, we knew that, but Haggerty puts that car at 50,000 when it's done. The biggest thing is that car is not complete.
Yeah, and that motor will never run properly.
No, but like the motor's not a big deal. They use those 216s and everything, so you can buy another project for $1,000 with a running engine. I've seen one just the other day, $1,300 with a running 216.
So many dead animals have died in that car. It's a good omen.
Yeah, I don't think it was worth losing sleep over.
Or getting up before the sun was out. Ridiculous.
You love it. You want to be like the working.
I'm not doing that for another 10 years.
So, that's about how long it's going to take to fix this car anyways. I think we're all right.
Here we go.
Yeah, hey, that's my line. So we're ready to start installing our pinch weld. And what that is rubber that looks like an S. And this lip goes around the window frame. And we have to put a tiny bead of caulking on the inside of that. Make sure that the lines are facing the inside because that's where the windshield gets glued to. So I had to wait for this seal because in a garbage bag full of rubbers, the mice decided that they liked only this rubber. So they chewed all this rubber into little pieces, if you can see that. So I had to order some more from Chevys of the 40s. I use this Proform PF224. It stays soft, like it stays pliable. But it's meant for vibrations and it's good for rubber and steel and plastic. So what I've done is taken a little piece or some 3M tape and just stuck it around the outside because we only want a tiny little bit. But it's extremely hard to see how much you actually put in. So that's what a good job looks like. Just a couple little squirts out, but for the most part, nice and clean all the way along. And then this is what a bad job looks like. Way too much oozing out of the bottom, but that's not a problem because we'll clean the rubber off and then we'll just pull the tape off and be good as new. Oh, looks like a professional did that, even though that was my first time. Now I like to let this dry before I put the trim on because I find it wiggles, it pops off really easy. I'm not gonna do the centerpiece. The centerpiece is pretty robust, so I'm gonna fill it up quite a bit in here, and especially in the top with the contact cement, and put that in place. And I do it while it's wet. I pop that centerpiece on. It works much better if you take a little bit of air tool oil and just rub it over the edges where the trim piece curls around, and then in a back and forth twisting motion, twist the trim around it. And now that that's on, we can put our visor on, which clamps around that center piece. And then once that's in place, we can install the windshield. Here we go. You gotta make sure that this trim piece sandwiches the trim or the rubber really well on both sides, and it's nice and even. A little bit is okay, but on the back window, I siliconed the rubber around the windshield. On this one, because there's headliner and stuff in the way, I'm definitely going to silicone this rubber here and then push the windshield up against it. So, see how this goes. Here we go. All right, windshield's all in. Rearview mirror's in. Getting closer, gotta hook up the generator yet. Now, it used to have a 3-pole regulator. It used to be 6 volt. We converted it to a 12 volt. This is a 4-pole regulator, which means that it's got 4 terminals. 3 on the front, 1 on the back here. Now it gets grounded, even though it's insulated. The ground goes through here. There's 3 terminals, F, BAT, and L. L is for lights, more for a tractor, for like an indicator light that tell you that it's charging. The battery goes to, obviously, from your ammeter, and from your ammeter it goes to your battery. F is for field, and then this is at the back for A, which is armature. Even though that's not labeled, that is the armature one. So throw that on, connect those wires, you gotta polarize it. So we're gonna jump A to B, which is armature to battery, and then you see a little spark, and then that will polarize the voltage regulator and it should start charging. So here we go. I'm I'm so torn about the car. Don't know what to do. What do you think I should do? I don't know. It looks like a lot of money. So our convertible is in a sad state of affairs. Talked with the owner yesterday, and for now we're gonna leave this one alone. It is just too far gone. We're looking into a one-piece floor, but they make them for a 49 and not a 48. And I think this one's got an automatic transmission in it, 2-speed power glide with a little shifter on the column there, but I don't think that's original because supposedly they didn't start putting the autos in until 49. So that rocker will work. I do have one more, but my floor pieces are different. The sections that I had in my fleet line, they're not the right ones. But there is oil in the engine. It's actually clean, and there is oil in the transmission, so it's seized. And the only reason they couldn't get it going before was because they couldn't get fuel to it properly, which is very straightforward. Just unhook it from here and put a jerry can to it. But it's actually pretty decent underneath the rocker cover, and I pulled the spark plugs and they don't look terrible either. There's one that's pretty bad. This is the worst one. But that being said, this engine hasn't turned over in 43 years. Not that I'm ever going to fix this engine up, but I do kind of want to see if I can get it running after 43 years of not running. So first off, pull the dipstick. It's got oil in it. The oil looks pretty clean. The tranny, actually, it's a 2-speed Hydroglide or Power Glide, something like that. It's got oil in it. So never going to be reliable enough to actually drive, but I want to see if I can get it going. So we pulled the spark plugs, put our acetone and ATF mix in there. We'll let that sit for a week. Then I pulled an oil plug at the back, find an oil gallery, and then this is an old jet pump just for like house plumbing. So what it is a bladder that goes in the one side, and your water would go in here, and then the rest of the tank is pressurized. So we'll put this bladder in there. I'm gonna start with a thin oil. Now this 2-stroke oil has been around for a while, probably not very much good anymore. So I'm gonna put the oil in the bladder, and then I've got the lid here that just goes right over top. Bolt that down. Look at all that nice stainless. And then we'll just pressurize the back, and without the engine running, we'll lube everything up. So we'll start with a thin oil. When this runs out, we can put a heavier weight in there. I don't think I want to use ATF because it's got detergents in there. I think I just want to put oil wherever I can. I'm not going to pull the pan or anything to see if it's leaking, but I will pull the valve cover, and we'll see if we can actually get oil into the valve lifters. Usually the lifters are the last thing to get oil, so if we got oil there might be oil everywhere else. So snug those up quick. Now it's got a valve in the back. I'll just pressurize that with about 20-30 pounds, and we'll sit for an hour or two, and then we'll put some more oil in there. And I do kind of want to wait and see if we could actually get oil pressure up to the cam, but that might be asking a bit much. So it gurgled and quit because my tank is empty, which is good. All the oil pressure went throughout the engine. It leaked down into the engine, and I just got like 2 drops to the camshaft. So I might drain the oil and just see what it looks like coming out. I don't want to keep dumping copious amounts of oil through this thing, but we got oil pressure everywhere now anyway. See if we can crank it over. Here we go. So it's been sitting for a week, and all I did was there's 2 threaded bolts, threaded holes for bolts in the front pulley. Just took a big bar, drilled 2 holes through it, and bolted it to it. And I got it to move just that. You can see it's moving. Now the engine's not seized anymore. I'm not going to turn it over any more than that. We'll drain the oil, put it back in there, lube it up again, and then I'll see if I can spin it all the way around. So actually it broke free. It took quite a bit, and I don't want to spin it all the way around without lubing it up again, because whatever's sitting in that little spot, that little bit of crap was sitting around the rings, we don't want to score that all the way up and down. So we'll lube it up, we'll fill the cylinders up again. I think that starter shot, so we're gonna pull the starter off. I'll try the one on the parts car there, maybe that one's good. and see if we can get it cranking over. But I'm pretty confident we can get this running, so here we go. It officially lost its milk crate last night, which is right there.
Yeah, the front seat's right.
Front seat. I finally got the seat in there. So that front seat's been in the mudroom for like 2 months, and my wife was starting to give me ultimatums. So
it looks good though.
Yeah,
really
for some reason I don't have second. I have first and third and reverse, but it won't shift into second.
I choked.
The day we took it home, the young guy and me got it going, and doors are flapping, and I'm driving around the deck, and my wife, there's no front clip on it. My wife's just standing there going, yeah. And the door's still rattled too because the door seals aren't in yet. We're getting closer. I don't even want to guess at how many hours I got into this thing, but it's charging now. The lights are working. Oh, that must be the glove box light.
Yeah. I forgot how smooth these things were.
I know, it's a nice ride. Yeah. So, because I don't have second, I don't want to take it down the road just yet. I still got a few little things to do, and I want to put the door seals in so it doesn't rattle the first trip. But no, it is pretty cool. It's always funny. It discharges with the lights on. If you're not on the throttle.
Idle doesn't do it.
Idle doesn't do it. It discharges like so quick. But it's quiet. I like it.
Yeah. So it's your shift mechanism that.
Yeah. It's a shift mechanism. I mean, I might be able to get it off the parts car. But.
So it's like a cop car. I gotta wait for you to let me out. Comfy back there?
Yeah.
I like those big seats though, eh?
Yeah. So I have the Fisher tag for it yet. So I gotta pop that in. And then I put the heater in, so the heater's all painted, so that's pretty neat too. The more heat you want, just the more doors you open.
Yeah.
It's your 3-stage. And then I'll do carpet. I just gotta clean this front up. I'll put some carpet right up to the firewall there. And then I gotta build a glove box for it yet. The glove box itself was cardboard and was all rotten.
Yeah.
But, and then the clock, I have a working clock upstairs. This one quit, and I don't know why it was working. But, yeah, we're getting there. Even like this turned out really nice. And then just gotta put the cranks on there.
Well, especially when like we knew what it looked like.
Yeah. It was you having to move that got you to Port Colborne, but it was your neighbor being forced out of his house for the subdivision that got us the car, right?
Yeah, well, he had saved this old beater because it reminded him of his dad's car, or whatever, I forget what the story was, and here he was having to move and he couldn't take it with us.
Right.
And I remember he was in tears, so I said, I'll roll it over to my shed and it can stay there till you can find a spot to it.
Yeah.
And one day he came to me and said, you know, could your guys take this?
Right.
And I called you.
Yeah. He put about $8 grand into the car between rebuilding the engine, the brakes, and buying all the parts from Chevy to the 40s, and the other guy starting the body work. They never got it done in time for his wedding, so that's why it sat so long, and that's why I donated. Now I've got more than that into it. If I count my time in there, I don't even want to count my time in there of how much it got into it. I pulled a lot of favors. The guy that painted it did really well. The interior lady really helped me out. Queensway Tires gave me the tires for less than their cost. The engine has, how far was that?
Yeah, like 5 or 6 kilometers altogether, right?
And that's just loops around the house. I need to get some of my money back for the materials, and then everything else is going to go through Tooth for Teens, and that would allow Rick to continue fixing up the place in Port Colborne. We want to do a chopper build, get into that. The place just isn't big enough for cars. Yeah, so it's nice.
You can't get them in and out.
No, and what we've found with the kids too, it's not the work, it's not the end product that matters. It's bad situations at home, and this is just a relief where they can just forget about that, not worry about having to look cool or impress your friends or stay in, to just hang around with some guys and just get your hands a little bit dirty, and we want to keep doing that, but basically we can't do it until until some other money comes in, right? So the Fleetmaster's parked outside in the sunshine looking all sparkly for a reason today, and that is the owner of the parts car came to the open house and wanted to take a look at the Fleetmaster itself to check out the interior and the paint, and because I have a lot of extra parts, he's interested in me fixing up his convertible. Now we picked up his convertible, and once we got it out of the barn and into the sunlight, it looked a lot rougher than I hoped it was. We took it home, we washed it, found a lot of dead animals in it. It needs a lot of work, and fiscally I don't think it's very responsible fixing the vehicle back to the original, the ideas that he had in his head to bring it back to his former glory. It's just going to cost too much and take too much time. So I mentioned to him that maybe he can take this car on trade. A lot of the pieces that he's re-chromed, he's got the wing extensions for the bumper, grill for it, the guard for the grill, and all that stuff he's already invested in. I said, why don't you take all those pieces, put it on this car, finish it off. He's got a rebuilt carburetor for it. We can put the carb on it. That way the money he's already invested is going to make this vehicle better. Take this on trade. Truth for Teens gets a good chunk out of the money. I get some of my money back, not as much as I'd like, but I'll take the convertible on trade and maybe flog that. He's got extra fenders and everything for it that are in really good shape. So we're waiting for the customer. He's bringing his wife, and hopefully we can give this car to somebody who's gonna drive it, enjoy it the way it was meant to be enjoyed, you know, back to original, that inline six sound that they're used to, and the 3 on the tree to bring the memories back. I don't have those memories. I think it's cool, but at the same time, I find a lot of stuff that's cool. But yeah, something's gonna happen with Fleetline today, and I hope it's good. Here we go. So our 48 Fleetmaster 4-door, I'm happy to say that everything worked out as well as I possibly could have imagined for that car. I get the convertible, and he gave a hefty donation to Truth for Teens. So he gets a tax receipt for that. The car ended up helping Rick out. That's going to help his shop out, and I'm ending up with a convertible. Now, so a lot of mixed feelings about this car. It is a neat car, but I don't know if I want the hundreds of hours that I need to invest in this car. But it also comes with a pile of new parts, new brakes, slave, master, brake lines, all the shoes, chrome pieces, rubbers, NOS, front fenders, NOS, rear fenders. It's missing a few pieces here and there, like the glass, but this car will be for sale. I am going to try and sell it if anybody's interested in it. It is a decent rebuild. This car is actually in better shape around the outside. This was all rotten in the other car. We got a soft spot here. It's not a big deal, but this I rebuilt on the entire 4-door. The rockers are actually still in place. The frame rails underneath the floor themselves are still in good shape. I don't know anything about the suspension, and we're happy to say that we did get the engine unseized. It's turning. Now we just got to figure out how to get the transmission out of park.
If you can hear that gurgle, I want to wait to see the oil come out of there.
But it's able to rock back and forth. We can feel the pistons going up and down. We had oil pressure throughout the entire car. We had oil coming out the lifters. So we're going to try and get the car running, put it back together with all the good pieces on it. It will get the bumpers off of the 4-door and the bumpettes, which are in about 85% good enough for a driver. If you want to re-chrome, they're an excellent start. And basically, if you want the car, hit us up and maybe we can work something out. For now, I'm going to reassemble it with all the NOS pieces, put the boxes with it, and it's probably going to buddy's chicken barn if I can't get rid of it before winter. So thanks a lot, guys, for following along on that project. Even though it doesn't have very many high views, it was still a project well worth it. A couple kids were here on the other day, yesterday, and we tore the front end off of this one and kind of wiggled the engine back and forth. So yeah, we'll keep it going. Here we go. Yeah, we got oil. Yeah, it's coming out. Yeah, you see the oil coming out? We got oil all the way to the top now, so she's running down now. Nice, well, better pop that on so that rocker covered.
Gets a little flow.
No, that's cool, I like that. Yeah, there's some bubbles. So now the whole thing's lubed up. We thought that we had it spinning, and all we did was shoot the keyway because we're that strong. So now what?
Let's weld the bolt to the end.
Fire it up. Is there a I think some people would be upset if we did that. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you love the channel, consider heading over to Patreon. There's a lot of stuff happening there to help support the channel. And remember, if you're not filthy, you're not rich.